Got my video on.
There's a little bump in there before the thing. I didn't catch it in time, but here we are, baby. It's the Possibly Awesome Wrestling Podcast, and I am joined as always by the Trinity. I'm part of the Trinity, but I'm joined by the other two parts of the Trinity. I got Tidy to the right of me, and Tidy, how have you been doing this evening, and how have you been enjoying wrestling this week?
Like I said earlier, for some reason I can't remember everything from wrestling. Probably because all the important stuff kind of already happened last week. I don't know, man. How I'm doing? I think I had too much fun last night at the club, Jim.
That seems to be a common reoccurrence with you. You seem to always be having fun the night before the show.
Tidy's got good Saturday nights.
Well, I've been doing nothing, Jimmy. You know, when you hurt your foot and you do nothing, so when something pops up, hey, we're gonna do something. My ass is gonna go out and do something. I've been bored.
I do know how the pain feels because right now I am nursing an injury where I almost lost half of my thumb. from a can. I'm not going to tell you whose fault it is, but man, it hurt, and it made the other day really hard to enjoy anything. And it was Friday, it was when SmackDown, all that stuff. I was like, oh man, this is not fun. Or maybe it was I don't remember, but it was. I know pain, Tidy. I know pain.
Thank you. You feel my pain.
I feel your pain. Yours is a little bit lingering a little bit longer than mine though. And then Albert down below. How the heck have you been this week? How have you been enjoying wrestling? And how long did it take for you to you had your New Year's resolution? You've already failed it. I know you have. You failed this week for sure. I know you did.
Yeah.
Outside of that, we've been doing good. Yes.
Yeah. Outside of that, things have been good. Major update on my toy room this weekend. So yeah. I actually, I'm going to do a whole big, like, behind the scenes, like, vlog, like, about it, like, everything. It's going to be a different kind of episode than what I usually ever put up. It's going to show, like, step by step how I broke everything down, time-lapse videos of how I filled everything up, a whole bunch of big things. So that's been my weekend. I've just been kind of focused on my girl and my collection. And I not a bad weekend.
All right, before I get to these comments, since you brought up the toy collection, I do have one specifically for Albert.
Love this.
Oh, yeah. Judgment Day. It's part 2 done. Now I just need 3 more people, and I got the whole collection. We're good. Because I need to get a different Dom, because these Doms ain't coming out. I need to get 2 of the next one with the bandana, so I can have the,
So right now I have old school, Dom with Dom and, teaming up with his daddy, next to the Judgment Day. So I gotta push that one. I gotta get 2 new ones because I have the Judgment Day shelf that I gotta fill out too. And as of right now, I actually just recently got that Finn Balor in as well. So I have him, Edge, and Priest all from Judgment Day. So I just gotta get a Dom and a Rhea and finish that up.
I decided not to do the Edge because this man kicked him out. And he's not needed him. He's not part of my Judgment Day.
Here's my thing.
Judgment Day.
I bought that Edge, and I got to put him somewhere.
Turn him sideways, shine him up real nice, and stick him up Dom's candy ass or something like that. He don't belong in the Judgment Day. That's what I'm saying to that. Comment time, though. It's comment time. Yay, it's fixed. Yes, it is fixed. I'm so sorry about that. Happens when you travel from time zone to time zone in one day, though. So that's what it is. Chad Gable. Oh, we could talk about some Chad Gable today for sure. We got heads in the chat tonight. I think my little
we do
issue on Twitter the other day kind of helped us a little bit.
I hope so.
I got a lot of new followers, and hopefully they're checking out for the first time. So that's what we're having here. Yay! Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, babe. Man, she hates when I say that. I was reading the name. I'm sorry, babe. Thank you for joining us. Looking good. It is her that is looking good, though. The 3. You can't tell that I'm bald. What you talking about?
Bald?
What you talking about? Got a crown on his head. Cameron up in the chat. Thank you for joining, Cameron. As always, it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for the support, the continued support, man. I appreciate it. Yes, we finally have made it back to the stream. And we got True Sinister. Hello, Sinister.
What's up, my dude?
Joining as always. Much appreciated for your continued support as well. And then we got Inigo Montoya.
Montoya.
I know he's one of the
Come
new
on.
ones. So I appreciate
He was
you
your
checking us
father.
out, man. I really appreciate you
Depends,
checking
Di.
us out. Hopefully you stick around and join the chat.
Thanks for being here, buddy.
That's what tonight's is all about. There's no game plan. I fumbled big time this week. I was distracted. Part of it was because I was missing half of my thumb. The other part was because just things come up, and that is what it is. But we're still going to have a great time because when we don't have a game plan, that means we just shoot the shit, and that's when we have the most fun. So I'm excited for tonight's show. Definitely excited for tonight's show. And since I'm looking at the chat and we don't have a game plan, we're just going to go with this one right here. Chad Gable. You know what? I'm going to rehash this one just a little bit. We can talk about Chad Gable, but we're going to talk about the match itself.
Yes.
Tomorrow night, on Monday Night Raw, we have an Intercontinental Championship #1 contenders match for Gunther at WrestleMania. Sami Zayn, Bronson Reed, JD McDonough.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's a good comment. I'm going to bring it up in a second. I already lost track of who I was saying. Man, I got.
You said Bronson Reed. You said JD McDonough. You said Chad Gable.
Zayn, Ricochet,
and
nothing bad for that 6 dude. He's gonna lose, isn't he? Jimmy don't even remember his name. He's gonna lose.
Nakamura, isn't it?
Nakamura. Oh,
it's Nakamura.
For him.
He is gonna lose. So yeah, you weren't wrong. He said I was distracted by the. Oh no, I was distracted by the bottle of Prime, which is another thing we'll probably talk about here in a little bit. And yes, I was distracted by that bottle of Prime. Hey, what up, Billy the Goat? I appreciate you joining, man. Another one of my favorite Twitter people right here. He's awesome. Hang and chat some wrestling, whatever else, whatever you want to talk about. Let's hear it, baby. And there you go. Thank you for that. We got it. You helped us. We appreciate it. So who do we think is winning this match tomorrow to face Gunther at WrestleMania? I want to know who you think and who you want. I think I know who we all want, but who you think as well. Tidy, I'm gonna let you go first.
I think I know who Tidy wants.
I know who he wants.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be Sami Zayn. I want it to be Chad Gable.
Okay.
What?
Okay. I was like,
now,
what?
I'm actually surprised on both of those answers, but all right, cool.
No, I'll give you a reason why. Okay,
that makes sense.
I went back.
I love this idea.
I showed my roommate. I've been trying to show her this clip. Oh, look, Chad's gonna have a chance, and I catch up, roommate. I gotta fill her in all the blanks. It was August 8th or something. It was like their match, or September 8th. And I showed the match after he got like the 10-second count out, and then like the daughter crying, all that stuff, and then showed her the promo. She's like, well, why are you saying he called him like a deadbeat father or whatever? You're a terrible father, a disgrace. And then so I showed her the next day, the next show. That's when Gunther brings him out and he's celebrating. And he's like, I swear to God, I'm going to take that title. And I tried to get her reaction from it. And it was like, she wasn't in love with the promo and everything. Like, she just wasn't. And I'm like, you're a Chad guy, though. I'm a Chad guy.
Yeah.
This house is a Chad guy. You can't live in this house.
You got to get out. You got to move. Pack your shit. Leave.
I was kind of shocked. You know what I mean? So when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take her point of view for a second. But he's still the only person that's made an emotional connection to Gunther with Sheamus. Like, I need to beat you, and I have a higher purpose than just being like, I want to be the new champion.
Yeah.
It means he's the only one. Sheamus wants that, Grand Slam, of course, besides revenge for, shaming him in front of his people at Cardiff, That was hard to watch.
We're going to have to talk about Sheamus here in a little bit, too, because I don't
You better come back.
But here you go. I think you got a new best friend here, man. True Sinister says he wants JD McDonough. He thinks Gable. That's right up your alley, Tidy. I don't know if y'all friends on Twitter, but you better be, because this right here is 1,000% you.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be, actually.
I want JD as well. I know you thought that. I want JD as well. I'm just trying to use my brain and not just my heart all the time. Like, I just don't see what's going to happen from it, because, like, say he does and they accomplish what they said they're going to do. We're going to take the IC title. We're going to take the gold from you. Yeah. What's going to happen? If JD wins, that's definitely going to be revenge. And then I think Gunther needs to walk away from it. And that's the whole point. If he does lose, he needs to walk away to, greener pastures. Like Jimmy said, let Ludwig Kaiser, get the revenge or something. But once you get a whole team jumping you, that's revenge. You don't just walk away from that shit. It's the only reason I don't think it's going to happen.
Uber Gamer, thank you for joining. As much appreciate. Oh yeah, that's okay. Billy the Goat. I got to get used to that one. Billy the Goat. Uber Gamer. Got it. I've got the word association. We're good now. So he says he thanks Gable, but he wants Sammy to win. So he's a reverse of you, but the same two people. So if you're not following, Billy the GOAT, make sure you're doing that, Tidy, because these are your people. These are your people.
I feel similar. I just changed it up.
Says I think it's Nakamura. I want Nakamura. I think Sammy, and then I want Sammy. I think so. Sammy and Chad is the combination that seems to be popular right now. Imagine if Gunther beats JD, then Damian cashes in. No. I don't. Damian needs to cash in for the World Heavyweight Championship at Puerto Rico. That's the play. That's the play. Yeah. That's the play. Albert, what about you? Who do you think and who do you want?
I'm going to change it up a little bit. Who I think is going to win is Chad Gable. Who I want to win is anyone but Sami Zayn. There is something,
son of a bitch.
But there's something. I just don't know what it is, but there's something in me.
Something's off, right?
No, that just I want Sammy's story to have to keep fighting to get onto the WrestleMania card, to be this bigger, grandiose thing than just, all right, I get to face Gunther. Like, I want more. I don't know why, but I feel like that there's a chance where we can get more. And I think that a guy like AJ Styles, who doesn't have anything to do either at this point, I mean, maybe he's got LA Knight. That seems to be like where it's going. Yeah. So, all right, so maybe not AJ Styles. But, I mean, there's got to be someone in the roster right now where like that, you know, I'm trying to think of, like, that path isn't clear. And if we can figure that out and have him and Sammy, you know, collide or whatever, I just want a bigger match. I just think that him losing to Gunther isn't, you know, the WrestleMania moment. I think he's fighting to get on the card, and I want to see him get into a match where he actually has a really good chance of winning.
Okay.
I understand.
So you want anyone but Sammy. Who'd you say you think?
Gable. And I think ultimately I want Chad Gable too. I think it's going to be a good match. I think there's a good story. I think that even if he loses, you know, it still stings enough, but you know, it's still going to be, you know, something big. There's a huge story behind it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. So I cried through her. As soon as she was crying, I was like, I got to hold it. I got to hold it. I got to keep a composure for both.
True Sinister. There is that. I wanted to bring something that up.
Cry was hard.
What are the chances? And if it's not Brock, but what are the chances that there's a mystery seventh person somehow inserted in that?
So I'm going to debunk this one real quick because everyone's saying that he was back on the roster. Apparently, he was never off the roster. The only thing that's changed is that he's now playable on 2K. I'm not sure what's happened here. I'm not going to try and even wrap my head around it because that's a situation that I don't like, and I don't even like talking about it. If he shows up, I'm going to assume that he's been cleared of something, and that's the only reason he's back. I can't see any way TKO would be like, yeah, let's bring him back if he wasn't cleared. Yeah. So until it happens, I'm not even going to entertain the idea.
Look, I'm just
Gunther and Brock would be.
Exactly. Look, I just want to point this out. Contractually, money-wise, there's got to be a lot tied into Brock being in that video game and being playable and getting a paycheck for that, you know? So that might be the reason why he's back in the video game. I don't know if I'm reading too much into the fact that I think that there's a lot of contractual things that go into that. He's owed a certain amount of money. So, yeah, okay. That might be the reason why.
So, I think we already know who Jimmy wants. It's Chad Gable. But I'll be a little bit different here, and I'll give you a different one. I think you already know I want Chad Gable. But just for the sake of giving a different answer, I want Bronson Reed. The one thing Bronson Reed has been missing this run, because, again, I think he's one of the top 3 rehires. He got moved down a notch because Nia Jax has been phenomenal. And we already know Chelsea Green is number 1 and always will be. But Bronson Reed has been a fantastic rehire, and he's just missing that signature win. Him being Gunther is a believable thing because he's a big, bad dude, and it would kind of solidify him as, like, he's there, and he's there to stay. He's a force to be reckoned with, and he could have himself a nice little run with that title. And the title is now in a position where if Bronson was to win it, it would help elevate him. Gunther has done that for that belt, which is great. So now that IC title can mean something again for the next person and the next person and the next person. Who I think, it's Sami Zayn. And I'll tell you why I actually like it. Because I was talking to Tidy briefly about this a few weeks ago when Sami was on that losing streak. I think the losing streak is building up towards something. Well, now he started to win. I won 2 matches in a row now. Winning this 6-man match would be really big for him. It would be like, oh, Sammy's really on that train. And I've praised him for being the absolute best babyface in-ring wrestler on the planet. Nobody can convince you and sell you on the fact you want him to win more than Sami Zayn between those ropes. That's my opinion. You don't have to share it, but that's just what I think. I think he's just so good at it. So when he goes up against Gunther, the idea is, oh, Sammy's going to do it, and he will completely sell you on that idea, more so than I think Chad Gable did. And then he'll lose, and that's going to be the thing that snaps him and gets him to that next step in his character, which is perfect because then it's brand new season the very next night, and we see the next evolution of Sami Zayn. And can you name me 5 people that are better at evolving their characters on just a snap of a finger than Sami Zayn?
No, not really.
So I'm really curious to see what it would be. I think it's Sami Zayn.
NXT Sami Zayn. What other Sami Zayns? Sami Zayn.
Conspiracy victim Sami Zayn.
Conspiracy.
Yeah. The documentary filming Sami Zayn.
He was literally a goofball for the bloodline for so long.
Yeah.
Just like that, he was like, I'm kicking your ass, Roman Reigns. And we were all like, do it! Because he's good at it. He knows how to just tweak it just enough to where it's not shock.
Yeah.
But like, oh, I love it. Hey, this is why we and you get along, because Conspiracy Sammy was my favorite as well.
I want to see that documentary.
Yeah, for real.
Whatever happened to that? We dropped that. We need to bring that back on Twitter. We need to see that documentary.
Here we go. She says, no, Brock. I don't think you have anything to worry about. I really don't. I want Brock versus Gunther. I do want to see the match. I just don't think you're getting it this one. I just don't think you're getting it. Now that I'm thinking about it, Sammy gets in the way. I don't know, because I think the World Heavyweight Championship match is kind of tied up, and Seth doing stuff with the bloodline kind of takes Sammy out of it completely. I think Drew and Sammy is going to be a great feud after WrestleMania, though. 1000%.
I wanted this too. I thought that this was the way that they were going to go, but now that they're doing what, like that Drew decisively won that. Yeah. I think that's where it's just going to be a singles match, and I'm okay with it. But originally, I thought that's where they were going to go, because I thought that's the perfect story for Sammy.
That'd be interesting. I haven't seen anything about it. I tend to block things out just because I just hate talking about that whole scenario. It's just horrible, but again, if he's there, I'm just assuming he's been cleared. I can't see any situation where that's not the case. Yes, we will get that down the road for.
I think so. I think so.
Crazy not to. Got Harry in the house. Thank you. He says he's a future champ. He must be talking about something going on WWE 2K24 or something, because he ain't talking about my belt, and he's not talking about my future belt either.
And he ain't talking about mine either. So
my future belt. I love. Yeah. Everything Sammy's done, I think I've loved. So. Maybe KO, Sammy, Jace. I think I saw someone talking about the people helping in the main event, and Sammy wasn't involved, and I wanted to punch them.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have a situation where Sami Zayn is not helping take down the bloodline.
Yeah, like if the main event, like if the bloodline's out there and they need somebody to even the score, it's got to be obviously Jay.
Yeah,
obviously
Sammy.
And Sami Zayn. Those got to be the guys. I don't even care who's facing. And look, if whoever's facing Solo at WrestleMania, if Solo's getting a WrestleMania match, if they're also out there, great, cool, fantastic, whatever. But Sammy's got to be there.
The amount of double duty is ridiculous. No wonder they're calling it WrestleMania XL.
What I would really like to see, ultimately, is if The Rock wins the main event. And The Rock and Roman win the main event of night 1.
Rock pins Seth.
But let's just say that's the case. What I would really like to see is not just like a couple of guys that got screwed by the bloodline come out. I want to see every guy that the bloodline has ever like double crossed or wrong come out to take the bloodline out and just like completely wipe them out of the occasion. Like Kevin Owens, LA Knight.
Just stand in a wall that says, no, you're not allowed.
That's it.
A stand of solidarity. That would be awesome.
Yeah, go ahead. Cross this line. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, we outnumber you now. The kids ain't a game no more.
Yeah,
I was thinking Rock pins Rollins, and then he's like, well, I beat you, so I should be in the match. And then he beats Seth. And Drew doesn't win the world. And now Rock is the tribal chief because he has a title and Roman doesn't. Woo!
Oh my God.
Okay, so what is the nonsense that The Rock was saying? Because Seth did that promo last week or the week before. Is like, oh, he's gonna eliminate this title and get rid of it, is what he was saying to Cody. Made it sound like he was just gonna make the title go away, not make Seth go away by not making him champion anymore. And then he said it kind of again on SmackDown, like, I'll get rid of that title because I'm your boss.
Yeah.
But he was saying that's if you don't accept the fight.
He's still gonna do something. Something's gonna happen there. Something's definitely happening here.
Keep saying that, and that's kind of a thing.
So I'd like to see even. Wait, no, not that one. I'll get back to this one, but you brought up there was another one. There you go. I don't want it to be Rock was playing Roman the whole time, predictable swerve, and I don't think it's gonna be that. We were talking about this last week. I don't know if you were in the chat when we were talking about it. We love the fact that there's so many different ways this whole thing can go, and they all sound pretty cool. That's how you know this is a good story, because it's so open-ended, but we're invested, and every way we see it turning is still good. I don't think it's going to be predictable. I think we're getting something that's going to be like, because every week on SmackDown when I'm watching these segments, I don't know about y'all, I'm going, like, I get those moments every week now, and it's awesome.
Yep.
So
here's another thing too. Just think about there you go. I like that.
She hates that thumb. She hates that thumb so much.
I hate the thumb.
But here's the fun thing too. I know it's fun. Probably not going to happen, but imagine Roman and Rock lose night one, and imagine it's Rock. But I'm just saying, imagine it's Rock who gets pinned, and the Bloodline turns on the Rock, and now it has to be a one-on-one match. And when the Bloodline comes out to interfere, the Rock is the one who brings them back to, and Seth Rollins brings them both back to the curtain to make sure they don't interfere, and Cody finishes his story. I don't think that happens, but it's still, if it does,
I like that.
Right? That's what I'm saying. It's still really cool. Like the scenarios are all crazy.
Just a little bit. If they turn on Roman's not part of the Bloodline anymore. So he can interfere on Sunday night.
Wait, Roman? Or you mean Rock?
Oh, no, if they turn on the Rock.
Yeah, Rock
after night one. He's no longer part of the Bloodline. So the rules are nobody from the Bloodline is allowed. The Rock's not part of the Bloodline. So he can get involved.
Hey, isn't it like too soon for that though? I mean,
it is. Cool?
It is.
Yeah, it is. You know what? It's fun to fantasy book, right?
We're just shooting the shit.
Yeah,
that shit would be cool, because like I'd rather have the Rock take the pin and then they get upset at him, and then they try to come out and interfere anyway, and then like you said, Rock and Seth stop them from interfering. But that makes kind of Rock a good guy again, you know.
So real quick, I have heard that Cena is supposedly. He said that he wants to be a part of it, and I don't think there's any scheduling conflicts right now. So, but then again, I also saw that Peacemaker season 2 was going to start filming, or they just finished. Right, I'm not sure, but I'm assuming he's going to be there. It's WrestleMania 40. They're going to stack it with as many big names as they possibly can. The one thing
does a promo.
Yeah. Get Stone Cold and John Cena in there cutting promos on each other.
Yeah,
that moment like we got with Rock, Hogan, and Austin at was it WrestleMania 30?
I think so.
Yeah, give us something like that.
With the New Day,
Punk, Austin, and Cena. What? I'm not gonna make it the rest of the night. I'm gonna pass out right then and there.
Cool.
Do you think they might try to recreate the Mankind Rock January 4th match for the Bloodline Rules match? No. Go ahead.
That could be cool, though. You know, like.
Well, Triple H does like to do callbacks like that. He does like it, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. But The Rock, I think, is trying to create something new. What's that?
I'll be right back. Getting a refill.
But so are we going to ignore it? Nah, he's a heel. He's supposed to say shit that don't make sense. He's
right, exactly.
He's supposed to contradict himself so that when you point it out, he goes, "It doesn't matter what you like." That's The Rock. That's The Rock in a nutshell right there. Cena might no. We don't need that. We don't need that. Him and headlining. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. And then, but Cena and The Rock were at the Oscars, so Cena will be at Mania. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. So
they literally were in the same, like in the segment together. Like John Cena was walking out and Rock, and I joked around with my girlfriend. I was like, "There's 3 wrestlers on screen right now," because it was Rock, Cena, and Bad Bunny.
John Cena finally turns heel and joins the bloodline. What?
Tiny's
No,
like, what did I come back to?
So now that we've got out of that, so
Yeah, Courtney, Rock was not wearing a thing at the Oscars, not a thing. So yeah,
I'm looking for that. I've started watching the Ricky Stenicki movie, and I love him so far. And I don't know if y'all have watched it, but John Cena.
I wanted to watch it actually. Now that I have Prime, so I do want to give it a shot. I think I might watch it this week.
I've only watched like the first 25 minutes, but so far I love it. I love comedies that push the boundaries, and we don't get those enough anymore. This one is doing that so far, so I love it so far.
I can't wait then.
Yeah, they dropped the ball with that one big time. They've dropped the ball with Theory big time. But then again, it might be by design, because when he turns babyface, that might be what helps catapult him. That's what I'm hoping.
They're teasing it at this point too. You can see even in the tag match, you notice Theory's the one bailing Waller out at every turn.
Grayson's always leaving him to. So let's move into that, because what was it? 2 months ago? Was it before the Royal Rumble? I said, it'd be a good WrestleMania match. Grayson Waller versus Austin Theory. If we're going to turn Austin Theory babyface, Grayson Waller's perfect for this. And now what's happening? It looks like
that's
what we're getting.
Grayson's a perfect heel. Like the perfect speaking, awesome, runs a show already. Coming to WWE heel.
He's a shithead. It's great. Like that's really what he is. And it's great.
I hate to say this, but the Australian accent really helps like sell it even more.
Yeah.
He sounds like a dick, and he acts like one. So he's perfect for this role.
I don't know why
Austin Theory to a point where we've been waiting for Austin Theory to get for so long. Hall of Fame, put him in it already. Put him in it, because I've been waiting for this moment forever, and it hasn't happened. So Grayson, if you do this for me, I'll write the letter for you. I'll get you in the Hall of Fame.
He's literally outdoing Theory. That's Theory's stick, to be like the kind of schmuck. And then Grayson comes in and does it way better. And now he's almost like punking him, almost treating him like a lackey. So it's a good setup, man.
So I'll ask this: when did you like Theory the most? Both of you. Albert, you first. When did you like Theory the most?
The way.
When he was a lovable idiot.
The way.
Yeah.
The way. Same. All three of us agree here. So, and he was babyface. They got to get him there, and I think we're getting there. You can see it, the facials and everything. He's doing his part, and then he's going to start being able to wrestle less heelish, which is going to I'm waiting for.
I still mentioned that on Raw when they said, "Hey, what about what's his face?" Like, "Oh no, we don't need him." That was at the end of one of the promos in the backstage, and they were talking like when the Way was talking without him. So that's a hint.
Another person. The Way was the best Theory. The Way. We all loved him in The Way. I know. I told y'all. I'm right every once in a while. I used to be right a lot more. Triple H got me done all crossed up.
That's the way it is.
I'm muted and booted for that one, bro. We don't need that. No, I'm just joking. So, hype level, now that we've seen it kind of start to play out, because I think you were against it, Albert, at first.
I was.
Now that it started to play out, what do you think about it?
I love it. I do. Yeah, I didn't. The thing was that I just liked them as a team, and I wanted to see them kind of like stay as a team. I think they worked really well together, and I think they could have drew some momentum. But at this point, they really haven't pushed them as a tag team. So if they're not going to do that, and they're really just going to be two singles guys anyway, split them up and let's let them beat the crap out of each other. Let's go.
They don't need to be in the tag team division, because the tag team division is getting stacked enough as it is.
You are not kidding.
You talk about tag team. What about Pretty Deadly? If they don't make it to WrestleMania, that's
I'm really upset.
That's a crime.
I
if
think
they don't make it into WrestleMania. Who are they going to fight?
Okay, here you go. I don't know. We moved right into this one. Tag team titles. I don't know if y'all caught this last week, but I think it was New Catch Republic with their stupid name went up. That's as negative as I'm going to get tonight. I'm sorry.
Banana Republic.
Went up to Nick Aldis and was talking about the tag titles. He says, "Hold on, me and Adam Pearce are working on something, and we'll have the details for you soon." Titles are getting split up. The best way to do this is to have 2 multi-man tag team matches at WrestleMania.
And what? Balor and Priest had to defend them both.
And that way, when Awesome Truth beats them on one night, On the second, I would do this the second night. It's a little bit more or less like, dang, Judgment Day really lost to them. Well, they had the odds stacked against them, so it protects them to an extent. And then on the first night, have it be like a TLC match or something like that, to where they don't even have to get pinned to lose. They just got the butts whipped and something along those lines. They're splitting those titles up, though. I'm almost positive. I'm almost positive.
I'd love that. I'd love that.
There's your way for the Pretty Deadly to get on the card.
Thank you.
If Pretty Deadly is on the card night one, I swear I will not have a voice left after that match. I will promise you that, Heidi. You will be there with me in spirit, cheering Pretty Deadly on.
Night one, like you're not going to night two. Are you not?
I'm not.
He's only going night one.
Well, who gave you a man? That's like half the sleep. Like who wants?
It's all right to me. Honestly, it's all
the Rock.
I still get The Rock. I still get Roman. I still get Cody. I still get Seth. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm good, you know?
An hour, and I'd take it, you know, if I could. So,
I don't mean to burst your bubble, but this is also a possibility. Pretty Deadly, just in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal on the SmackDown before.
And I hope that's not the case, because if they're not at WrestleMania, I'm really upset.
Okay. So Andre the Giant Battle Royal came up, so let's just slide into another conversation. That's how this night's going. I love it. I
like it. Yeah, I like it. Let's go.
Solo Sikoa, what do you think he's doing at WrestleMania? Is he going to have a match?
I like that you just talked about Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal as Solo being in that. I'd like to see him just
winning it. I think
that's perfect. And that's the first guy where they can finally say Triple H can take over, and he can be like, oh, there we go. I mean, he can still say that he did it with Jey Uso because he's a main event guy now. You know.
Imagine Solo's the only person from the bloodline that actually wins during the weekend.
Huh?
Jimmy's probably losing. I hope he doesn't, but he's probably losing. And then Roman's probably losing. Solo wins. Hey, your time is up.
That's it.
And he's gonna
That's it. That's the big feud coming out of Mania. It's Solo and Roman, right? He's not the tribal chief anymore, Paul. I'm the tribal chief now. He failed. I won. Boom.
I'd like to see Bronson involved in the. I feel we'll move into that one in a minute, but I think Bronson's going somewhere else. But man, that's a possibility too. Solo and Bronson. Man, that is a feud I cannot wait to watch over the next 5, 6, 7,
That's
8,
crazy.
10 years.
Bronson's
man, awesome.
So big and powerful. Like
Solo's right there
around.
Yeah, so you ain't doing it the Solo. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or here, acknowledge me, and then Solo's like he does the thing to Roman. He grabs his arm and says, takes the mic. What is Solo doing? Give it to me, baby.
And have Heyman play in between. Have Heyman play in between, and then Heyman eventually turns on Roman.
Oh, he's going with Solo.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what he does best. Cinema.
Well, that won't happen until Roman's a babyface, because I can't see anybody wanting to turn on him unless he just goes fucking ballistic. We keep thinking he's going to lose his mind, but he hasn't technically lost it yet.
I think he kind of has, though, because he started, like, you've seen the gray start popping up his beard. That's by design. It's because he's losing control of everything. And now with the whole Rock thing, like, you start to see him get a little bit more confident. Now that the Rock was like, I acknowledge you. You kind of saw that version of Roman where he was just kind of like always angry or not sure what's going on. Immediately went to, hey, I'm happy again. So
yeah, that's true.
So when it all starts, the Roman Empire, the day is always darkest before the dawn. So that's what's happening here. I don't know if that made any sense. It sounded good though.
The dawn is always darkest before the day.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I've heard it the other way. I literally have heard it the way I said it. I think it was in Batman. But here we go. Screw it. Let's move into Braun Breaker. We're everywhere, baby. Braun Breaker, WrestleMania. What do we see?
I'm really surprised he's not in this, in this little tournament here, because that would have been a good spot for him. But I guess they're not doing SmackDown, guys. So
thank you.
The U.S. title seems to be short up right now. So, I mean, it looks like it, right?
How?
What did you say?
The U.S. title.
U.S. title scene. What is it looking like?
Oh.
What do you think it's looking like?
Orton and Logan.
Do you think that's the only play because Kevin Owens is still involved?
Yeah,
Yeah, but not
Theory and
there's
Waller are
some
also
tension
still
there.
involved.
He almost threw a fist at Kevin.
that opening segment was him RKOing KSI. I think that's the start of Logan Paul. And who did he attack? He attacked them both after the match, but I think that was it.
But Kevin Owens is still in play, though. Like, technically, Kevin Owens and Logan Paul's story isn't done. And Theory and Waller are still associated with them, and they're still fighting like Randy and Kevin. Like, so that whole thing is still a jumbled mess. I think we're getting a multi-man match for the United States Championship. For Randy's sake, I hope it's not a ladder match, but it definitely looks like we're getting a multi-man match for that United States title at WrestleMania. I was really hoping
maybe. I hope so.
Sammy versus the Paul brothers, but that's not happening now.
Yeah, it sounds more intriguing with the title.
That would have been cool.
One-on-one.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't want a one-on-one with him and Randy. I don't know why.
Now, multi-man matches will help Randy because Randy is very limited at this point. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. He's lucky to be wrestling. He had a back injury this late in his career. Like, it's just cool that we still have him. Triple threat. I can see it being a triple threat, but I also I know Triple H. I've been watching him since NXT, and I know. Whereas I don't know how he's gonna who's gonna win shit with Triple H. I do know his tendencies, and he likes these multi-man matches for things like this. I'm thinking of NXT Takeover New Orleans for the North American Championship, that kind of match. And when you have someone like not Jake, why am I saying Jake Paul? Because he's going to die by Mike Tyson. Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, you put Austin Theory in that match as well. You have 3 people in a ladder match that are going to make magic. I think to even it out, you throw Braun Breaker in there too. You have 6 men in a match for the United States Championship. I think that's a good spot for Braun Breaker. He don't have to win, but he also doesn't have to lose, and it's all good for him. He could just kind of be a spotlight. He could be the one that's wrecking everybody, and then he just doesn't win because he is new, and the other guys just
take it out,
something like that.
Or 3 guys take him out. You know,
like I remember watching that New Orleans takeover. That's probably my second favorite ladder match of all time. It back and forth between Rock and Triple H in that one. It's fantastic. I remember the most from that match, Killian Dane and Lars Sullivan, because they were wrecking everybody. Neither one of them won, but I remember what they were doing to everybody, and I think Braun Breaker would be perfect in that role if this is the way they're going.
And then it's got to take, maybe it's like 3 guys hit like successive moves on ladders with him to take him out. You know, like you can really eliminate him by having him look still really strong. You know,
he goes to spear someone, they move, and he breaks the ladder in half when he spears him, and then that's what takes him out of the match. It's an incredible visual. And it's like, okay, well, he didn't lose.
Right.
He just messed up. And then I hate it. Yeah, like Randy in an elimination chamber. I was so scared of that. I did not like that at all. Braun could be the one that decides the final pin with that 6 spear. Yeah, like Grace, he could spear someone, and then Grayson Waller could throw him out of the ring, and then you have a Grayson Waller-Braun Breaker feud for the United States title right after Mania. There's options here. There's options.
Right.
So, KO
and Bobby.
Oh no, I think we're getting a 6-man. That's what Bobby's thing is.
That's what it looks like to me
it's
too.
Probably going to be on SmackDown before Mania. Unfortunately for Bobby, 2 years in a row. That's unfortunate for him. But
I don't know. No, that's not what's going to happen, man.
You know,
I think Bobby and Karrion, they get like a fucking death match. I don't know. It's going to happen at Mania. It's going to be a big match because when I saw them fight on SmackDown Friday, man, dude, I love watching these 2 big because they seem almost equivalent in size. Even though of course Bobby's got more muscle than anything, but like it just looked good and I liked it. The fact there was interruption pissed me off.
I liked it.
I really want to see that in Mania 1-on-1.
I liked it. It builds up the intensity a little bit more. I feel like they've dragged it on a little bit too much, and that's probably why that's why that probably made a few people mad. But had that happened, like, I don't know, only a month into the feud, I don't think it would have been a big deal. I do. This is the first one-on-one match they've technically had. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So I'm not mad that ended interference, especially if it prolongs it to Mania. If it gets both these guys on Mania, then yeah, absolutely.
That's what I want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give Bobby something, and finally they can do something with Karrion that everybody thought they couldn't do nothing with.
Right,
well, Chris. No worries, man. Thank you for joining. As always, that's always appreciated joining. So we were just talking about this earlier. Until Brock shows up on TV, I'm not even gonna try to.
Yep.
I'm not even gonna try and pull it. Like, if he shows up, I assume he's just innocent of, or he's been cleared of whatever. I don't know. I don't even like talking about the subject because I think it's just it's all speculation. Yeah. And I didn't read shit. I just know he did something with P. So if he comes back, he's cleared, and if he's at Mania, cool. If not, then that's just what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
I do hate the fact that we might not ever get Brock versus Gunther, though. Man, that's heartbreaking.
That sucks. It really does. It really sucks.
Brock versus Darby Allin. Oh,
I don't know,
man. I want
that
that so bad. He should beat him at WrestleMania if it happens. I'm tired of them playing around with Karrion Kross's career. I'm tired of it. The man is a sweetheart. I love him. And he deserves more. He deserves some wins. That's what he deserves. If you've never met Karrion Kross and you have the opportunity to do it, you will not be disappointed.
I just interact with him on Twitter.
He will.
Like such a nice dude.
Literally, the night of all the wrestlers I've gone and met, he is the nicest one.
Like very sincere morals, not overbearing morals, just a loving dude. I'm like,
the guy that was in front of me brought him pictures. I don't know what the pictures were, but there were apparently pictures that he took from other shows he's been to, and he had them framed for him and everything. And Karrion Kross just had that intense look in his eye. He goes, dude, I fucking love these things. Thank you so much. I'm going to put this right there next to my desk in my office, and I'm going to put this one on this wall, right? He was explaining to him where he's going to do, how his office was laid out. And he goes, and then he just looked him dead in the eye and got even more serious. He's like, and I'm not even fucking joking, man. I'm going to put these on my wall as soon as I get home. And I was like, this is cool. Like, I don't care that he's being intense and scary. That's cool. And then I got up there and met him. I didn't talk much to him. We were just kind of in for the picture, out and all that. But he was such a sweetheart just on that little bit of an interaction. And I've never heard anyone say anything bad about the guy. Give him some wins, man.
That's right.
Bobby's big.
Good call, Harry.
Big's the tighty, and Bobby's huge. If he can beat Bobby, man, that's great for Karrion.
Yeah, that's what Bob. Unfortunately,
puts him in title contention.
Yeah, I think this is how Bobby should be getting used at this point. I know. I know he's your boy, but I mean, I want to see these things happening now. Hey, we're jumping all over too, man. So don't even apologize. I like it. It's been fun tonight so far. Imagine Punk shows. Hey, Punk will be at WrestleMania WWE World on Sunday. So it's not from a possibility. And guess who else is going to be at WWE World on Sunday? This guy.
I like that. I didn't even think of that, but that's true.
Yeah.
Punk don't like Seth either. Seth don't like Punk.
Yeah.
And Drew's repeated that to him. Oh, at least you told the truth about, Punk, So that's a really good call.
Bobby had a match in the title tournament.
I forgot about that. It's true.
I forgot about that one because it wasn't good.
Yeah. But this feud's been going on for a while, and I think that it's got to. Yeah, this is the way it's got to end.
Is this a thing that he does? Like, I'm curious now.
It's actually very good.
Does he? Have him Ace Ventura and do that shit. That'd be funny as hell. Have him walk down to the
Jesse the Body, not Ace.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. I'm thinking Ace Ventura. I've heard the Jesse. Yeah, his Jesse Ventura one's good too. Seriously, I'm sorry for jumping completely on. You guys are over here, and I'm like way back there with that one. I'm sorry.
I was too.
All righty then.
It's the only Ventura I know.
Nah, they're gonna have the separate titles that we ain't ever combining them again. Triple H ain't doing that.
I hope not. I really hope not.
Rock says he's going to eliminate the one title is just trying to piss us off. Like, we're going to go back to that. So
that's super cool that he came on your friend's stream. That's cool. And he was like literally partaking and like commenting and everything. Because if that's the case, that's cool. I love the dude. I want him to be so successful because he deserves it. He's awesome. And yeah, Bobby can take a loss. Punk wasn't injured, would he be in the Seth place and team with Cody at Mania? No, I think it would have been a completely different story. I think this was. I think. You know what? I don't know. I don't think he'd be with Cody though, because CM Punk should not be wrestling back-to-back nights, as we can see. It's clear he shouldn't be doing it anymore.
I think that this was supposed to be. I don't think he was ever winning the Rumble. I think that the Elimination Chamber there was going to be some mix up with him and Drew, and I think it was going to be him, Drew, and Seth in a triple threat.
That makes sense. That's actually a good one.
Yeah.
I don't hate that one. I didn't know I needed to cross. Yeah, you're welcome. You're very welcome. My stupidity helped tonight. So I know this one's out of the ballpark for Tidy, but we can touch on this one real quick. I don't know how familiar you are with it right now, but Wardlow. Sure. Have you been following Wardlow's trajectory lately, Albert?
Well, I'm glad that they finally put a mic in his hand and said, "Hey, just go be yourself and don't scream like a lunatic anymore." And I'm
some people.
Yeah, and then at the other part of it, they are looking as if they're trying to put momentum behind him again. They did the whole devil thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they did the whole devil thing. He's in this little group now. He seems to be a little bit more featured now. He wins that big meat man match, that they had at the pay-per-view or whatever. It looks like they're finally getting behind him. I hope they keep doing so, because every time it looks like he's going to get to that next level, he never does. So I think I hope we get to see him do that again this time.
I'm very curious how the Wardlow Samoa Joe match is going to go. That's what I was saying. Because for the past 3 weeks, I have been praising Wardlow's work. I love what they've been doing with him, specifically what he's been doing for himself. His promos have been awesome. I take him as a legit threat, which is something I haven't been able to do since before he beat up 20 security guards. And how that goes, I think, is going to play a big part into how much faith I want to put into moving forward. Because if he just loses to Samoa Joe, it's like, what? I don't know if you put the title on him though at Big Business, because so many other things are happening. It would be completely overshadowed by Mercedes Moné and Okada stuff, and like this is a huge show, and I don't see them main eventing. So,
but does it also? Do you also then put the World Championship on your biggest star at what arguably could be one of their biggest shows? With Okada, this is probably going to be Okada's wrestling debut, I'm assuming, right?
You know what?
And you got to think that Mercedes is going
to against jobbers. I don't know. I don't watch Collision. I don't know, but someone told me that. I don't know if you saw the clip of the Young Bucks and him backstage, though. That was brilliant. I loved it.
That was great. Yeah, it was great. It was great. Me too, because I hate the Young Bucks, but that was great.
That's a good point. Stack the show, get as many viewers as possible, so Wardlow has that. And that's
then your main event is you're crowning your new guy, like this young, and then, I mean, what a better way for MJF to come back, right?
Here's what wheels turning, and if you know me, I love the fantasy book, baby. It's not going to happen because of some bitches on vacation again. This is the problem I have with Hangman Page. I start to get behind the guy, and then he's leaving. Because it would have been really cool if Hangman Page came out there, somehow caused the disqualification, and then we got Wardlow and Hangman Page in a feud. That would be so amazing, and we don't even get it. But yeah, I've been loving Wardlow the past month. I think this whole thing, him disappearing for a while, was good for him, and I've liked him. I would like AOP in that TLC tag title match. Just having two big boys just destroy everybody. Kind of like I was talking about with Braun Breaker. Just have them destroy people.
They had the NXT one with what was it, Sanity and the Street Profits. Yeah.
DIY. I think they had a ladder match with DIY.
Yeah, they definitely did. Yeah.
And it was awesome. So, it was awesome. They fit that billing beautifully. Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I'm gonna send this to him. I got a new character arc for you, Karrion Kross. You're gonna love it. Serious? No. Heyman will become an advocate. I don't see this ever happening again. We will get something where they cross paths. I think Solo is Paul's going with Solo. No question about it. But a Solo with Paul Heyman against CM Punk feud, I'm for that. That'd be fun. I think it would be really cool, and it would be very helpful for Solo Sikoa. And CM Punk is completely down for that stuff. That's why he's came back to wrestling, is to help those kinds of guys get to the next level. And if you don't, if for whatever reason people don't believe that, you're silly. literally up until he won the AEW World Title, that's exactly what he was doing. And then Warner Brothers said, "Put the title on." So he wants to help the younger people.
What's going on with Jade Cargill?
We can get to that in a second. I'm gonna get these comments, and then we can jump to Jade Cargill. I like it.
Cool.
I'm also so happy to see Jamo's. He's been pretty good. Who's like modern day Razor Ramon?
Damian Priest. Damian Priest is, man. Damian Priest is smooth.
You have to sell me on that one. I'll listen to anything, but you gotta sell me on that one. I think Swerve is beating Joe. Hey, the one thing I'll say, I like the unpredictability of what's happening in AEW right now. It's been my biggest gripe, and they're correcting it. So I do like that. I don't know. Swerve will be champion before the year's over, unless something bad happens. Knock on wood, fingers crossed. I hate I even put it in the universe, but he will be champion before 2024 is over. Yeah. I'll just say yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega, he ain't coming back anytime soon, unfortunately. But he got fired. Man, Young Bucks do some pretty cool stuff right now. I hate that I have to say that shit.
I know. But you know what? We give credit where it's due, and that's the difference between us and a lot of other people.
See, this would be cool too. Solo and Braun Breaker together as
sure. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that would be cool. Yeah, for sure. Paul Ellering don't have to do much, and I like the fact that he gets to collect a paycheck by just doing something simple. He deserves it. He earned it. He's awesome. So, Jade Cargill, what do you think she will be doing at WrestleMania, Tidy, or do you just have no clue?
Well, Bianca, it all depends on, I think, Bianca. Like, who is Bianca? What is she doing? And like, well, me and my roommate watched Elimination Chamber because she didn't get to really see it. So I showed them Women's Elimination Chamber. And I take it back. I thought it was Tiffy time. The standout was Bianca Belair. We watched it again. Watch it again, dude. I'm telling you. Well, Tiffy was there for 5 minutes, whatever. I'm just saying, the way Bianca was taking hits and being so aggressive, I was shocked. And that's the Bianca I want to see. And I was telling her about the show. And I was like, it's because she's fighting harder. She doesn't have a road. She has no clear path. So she's fighting harder. And I love Bianca. I still want to see Bianca versus Jade, but it depends if they build something for Bianca. And right now, who does she talk to on SmackDown? Naomi. Told Naomi to basically, kind of get over it where you were here. Well, I'll say something nice. Good luck out there tonight. I was like, man, Bianca kind of snapped at her pretty nice. And Naomi just kept saying, oh, no. Well, shit, do you want to fight Bianca or not? Because I would be down with that. But
here's I can't take credit for the theory. I saw someone else say it, and I don't remember who it was, so I can't give him credit. But there's a possibility you get Naomi, Bianca, and Jade Cargill taking on the rest of
ding. Yep, that's what I think.
But then again, the only problem I have with that is then the girls' tag team titles aren't part of the show, and
whatever.
We can't do that at this point. We literally have gotten to the point where they're being featured on a weekly basis. You can't take 2 steps backwards now. I wouldn't be against Naomi and Jade Cargill winning them or something along those lines.
And Bianca versus Dakota at Mania, I just don't see it happening.
Bianca versus Tiffy time. So that she can prove to Tidy that she was the MVP of the Elimination Chamber because she was, Tidy.
Well, I know. I mean, you know how much time I have with Tiffy time. I love Tiffy time. It's all the time. But
I just hurt myself on my bad finger doing that.
Shayna and Zoe beat the Kabuki Warriors, and it can set up for that 3-on-3.
That's tomorrow night. I don't see that happening on just Monday night.
Neither. Yeah.
Come on.
Damage Control is going to hold those titles all the way through WrestleMania, maybe even past WrestleMania. I don't know, but I'm not going to complain if we get that 6-woman match. I'm not going to complain. I do think it would be a bad thing to do to leave the women's tag titles off the show at this point.
It would. I'm already not getting the women main eventing.
I've been pushing it for so much, and they literally are on track at this point. They were featured every single week, and not just Chelsea Green on commentary. Like there's feuds being built up with everything, so I don't want to see them left off at this point.
They fought one of the coolest things. It was like Tatum Paxley and Lyra. They defended on NXT. that was awesome. So yeah, you're right. They are being shown every week now. So
I mean, they're setting up matches for like the week after and the week that, and they're going to NXT and defending them like they should have been doing this whole time. So like they literally have got. I don't want them to take 2 sets back. But
I think that I'm okay with it if you're gonna get that cool of a match.
yeah, no, I'm not going to complain about the match. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. It's the same thing with the Cody and Rock situation we had months, like it feels like months ago at this point.
because
I'm not going to be mad that I get to see Rock and Roman.
But Jade hasn't signed with anybody yet. It keeps
No.
looking like she's about to, but then nothing happens and they don't say it. So I think maybe next week or the week before she finally signs and she challenges somebody. Maybe
there's a real possibility she's not even on the show.
Some
And then she signs with Raw the night after.
Right after WrestleMania.
To
Yeah,
make
I think that there's a chance of that too. I was gonna bring that up, but yeah, absolutely.
I think that's at play too. Just so that they're not literally forcing her into these positions that she's maybe not ready for. The Royal Rumble was a perfect place to just say, hey guys, we haven't forgot about her. Here she is. Watch what she does, and then take her back from us and just kind of tease us until she's ready. I'm not mad at that. I think it would be fun. This would be a second year in a row. Yeah, there you go. It would be the second year in a row. And again, that's kind of my thing. Is like we got all the momentum now going. I don't want to lose it. I think that would suck. Think of all them times the tag titles were on the Mania card. Were you happy about that, Albert?
No, of course not. But you know what? I think the difference is that at least the champions are at least getting a match. I think there was a lot of times those tag titles weren't defended and the champions weren't even in a match. Maybe they were in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and there was sometimes where there was no Battle Royal. They were on the pre-show Battle Royal that meant even less.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I think Bianca and Jade win tag gold at Mania. But then what is Naomi doing? Because Naomi is officially part of this now. We can't just leave her off.
And this actually, right. So now this actually runs into what Uber Gamer was saying. I think that what inevitably the story is, I thought the same thing at one point. Okay, maybe Shayna and Zoe become like the equalizers, but then I thought about it. Dakota's healed. It would make total sense that, Naomi is going out there and getting jumped by, having Bayley's back, getting jumped by Damage Control, and then Bianca's like, oh, fine. I'm only here to back you up, Naomi. I get it, Bayley. I still don't like you. I'll be on your side because we have a mutual enemy. Yeah. But I still don't like you. And then they need somebody else. And Tidy, exactly what you said. The week before WrestleMania, when it looks like they don't have a partner, Jade signs on the dotted line for SmackDown, and she decides to be that partner.
She had the conversation with them as well backstage 2 weeks ago.
She did.
That's
yes,
right.
She did.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. She's
like, it all ties together.
Someone need to check those girls, and yeah. So there you go. That probably happens.
Together.
Put the titles on Shayna and Zoe. Then, damn it.
Sure. I mean, look. If they do that, then that's interesting, and then make them defend it at Mania. Sure.
Jade makes that happen. She causes them that match tomorrow night. Oh, there we figured it all out. They're do it. Triple H. I know you're watching.
Sonya Deville comes back with Chelsea, and they go back for the titles versus Shayna and Zoe.
Chelsea better be on that show too. Oh,
I'm
starting to get annoyed now. We got to move on. Oh my goodness. Aldis Pierce. I think they've kind of backed away from that a little bit, just because they're working together now. But I like their dynamic. They shouldn't be at each other's throat all the time. They should be working with each other at times too, so that they can make trades and help the tag title situation, and all that. So I do like the dynamic that they're not always like, I don't like you. Well, I don't like you. And so it'll return. Yeah, we know, but man, for what we want to happen, and we want our cake and we want to eat it too. So for that to happen, Shane and Zoe have to win. There you go.
That's what I'm telling you.
Why would Bianca really need any reason at all just to go beat down Damage Control more? Because she don't want to help Bayley.
Right.
That's literally all it is. And Bayley was the mastermind.
She don't want to help Bayley.
Yeah. It's not that she don't want to beat up Damage Control. She just don't want to help the person who masterminded the whole situation. And since she was one of the main targets of it, I like the continuity there. Because usually you just see the babyface like, yeah, forget that. Let's do it. We saw it with Drew. And now we're seeing it with Bianca. So I do like that they do that.
Right.
Charlotte is a Terminator. And if you have not been watching her progress on Twitter, I suggest you do so. Because my goodness, that woman is from another planet. The thing she's doing right now with her rehab is unheard of, unseen. It's out of
Said
movies.
John Cena. She got them John Cena jeans. She got her daddy. Daddy got in a plane crash.
Yeah, he
survived.
broke his
Yeah.
He survived. So I think
He said,
that
"Woo!"
she'll come back from a ACL, whatever, tear. She'll be fine. She might make it back in Mania, and I wouldn't even doubt it, honestly.
Yeah, she is not human. I don't think
Not
it's
human.
out of the realm of possibility that we see her just walk out at WrestleMania. There's no way she's wrestling, but she could walk out at Mania and do something.
I think she was doing like a Saturday thing or Friday.
Yep,
or
she's
Saturday
at
thing.
She's at the WWE World on Saturday. Yeah.
So you know what? Even just like for the women's title match, just have her sit ringside. Walk out, sit ringside.
Something. She could do something. True that. And Bellas ain't coming back to WWE anytime soon. That ain't happening. They're just gone. They ain't coming back.
Like
So Andrade, that's the name I just had in my head. What do we think for Andrade?
Man, I'm really surprised he wasn't in this gauntlet.
Versus Dominic?
I mean, I'm good with that, because Dom doesn't have a clear path either right now, does he?
Andrade gonna lose his first match at Mania?
Dom got spanked at the last Mania. He can take a L.
Shut up.
I know.
We don't talk about that.
I said it out loud. I know. So,
Harry, I hope not.
I don't think Andrade came back for that. I don't think that's happening at all. I don't see that one happening. Yeah, I don't know, because he's not on SmackDown, so he don't even fit into the storyline that he kind of integrated himself into in the beginning. And I don't know. It's been weird how they've been doing Andrade so far, so I don't know.
I know. And you know what? I know that we don't want to go back and rehash things, but Ray's back, right? I mean, like, he's on TV. He kind of, if Andrade's in that story, he kind of evens things out. Because the LWO's got a man up on Legado right now. Because they've got
Ray,
Carlito.
They do.
And Zelina.
They do.
So that's 5 altogether with Zelina.
So what happens is Dom leaves and joins the LWO, like I said, and then he's the leader of the LWO, like I said, and he takes Liv with him, like I said, and then there's your 4-on-4. Duh.
No, he would have to join Legado.
Huh?
He would have to join Legado.
He's with Delgado, but then they beat LWO and take the LWO name because of its rich history and merchandise money that they're going to want, and that's what we do.
There it is. All right. I like how you somehow came away to re-fantasy booking the way you wanted things. I like that. I appreciate that you figured it out.
Put me in the room with the writers, and I can spin it however the fuck they need it to. I can get there. It may not always make the best sense, but it will get there somewhere. This is another possibility, like I said with Jade. It might just not happen until after Mania, just because when he got there, it's just bad timing. This is a good one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, that's a good one.
I've also seen rumblings, and I kind of thought so myself, that Dom and Pat McAfee might be doing a thing, because Pat's been and Dom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he has. I like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That's what
I'll
said
say
last
this.
week. He likes everybody else. He loves Rhea, but he cannot stand the Judgment Day, especially Dom.
As the CEO, president, manager, boss, number one contributor, fan, all the above of the Dominic Mysterio fan club, if I have to watch that man lose to Pat McAfee at WrestleMania,
you do it, no.
Y'all better put me in handcuffs and take me out of Lincoln Financial Field, because something bad will happen. I'm not watching him lose to Pat McAfee, everybody. It's not happening. It's not happening. I can deal with Andrade. Andrade's out of this world. So, congrats to Dom, though. He just got married this past week. Not even the mommy.
Yes.
What a player, bro.
Oh, and not only that, he got booed at his own wedding. Who else gets booed at their own wedding? That's the kind of power Dom Mysterio has.
Bro, they would have kicked
the dark
me out
side
of
of the
too.
Force is strong with that one.
This would have been me. Oh, I'm gonna punch every single one of y'all people booing this man.
Hey, you know what's big, man? Trick Williams is back, and he got like the biggest pop when he came back. And I gotta say, because of his promos, the way he talks, the way he carries himself, I think he's gonna be the biggest babyface ever. He's so damn good.
He is.
He might be
hot.
in NXT for another 3 to 6 months. I get it. Maybe even a little longer. But man, that dude is straight fire.
I think he wins.
Talks like him. So damn good. I love Trick.
So I think he beats Carmelo at stand and deliver, and then at the next one, I think he wins the title.
Yeah, he still wants to get back to that title, which is who's Ilya fighting? Does he have anybody set up? I can't think. I thought he was fighting somebody.
Yeah.
The Don. He's fighting the Don.
That's right. That's right.
I'm not even going to talk about that one. That one just seems so weird to me.
No,
I don't watch it weekly, so I don't even hate Tony D'Angelo. I think he's great. I love the gimmick and everything. It just seems weird that it's stand and deliver, the biggest weekend in for WWE all year. It's Ilya versus Tony D'Angelo. Has he been built up that much over the past year to where he should be in this spot?
It's been like the last 2 months. It was kind of built up when he was with other people. He wants to go back to being the Don again after whatever fell apart. And then he snaps his fingers, and then all the security guards just like leave Mello because he's the Don. You know, he paid them more. I don't know. I'm for it because I love Tony.
I don't hate Tony.
It is kind of weird that he was thrown in so quickly into this when he was not involved with Trick, Mello, or that. So it is kind of crazy.
See, I like Harry. I like Harry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Dijak has been, now that he said Dijak has had the best damn matches. I still need to go back and watch the one last week. Oh, that's what I forgot. I forgot to watch that one last week. It was like another street crazy match versus Joe Gacy.
Yeah.
But like Dijak, he doesn't lose. They've made him into a monster. And no matter the odds, Joe Gacy comes back from the dead. Pet Cemetery, he's going to beat that shit too. He's beaten everything that's like, well, shit, surely Joe's not going to win. Well, we're going to have this guy have a fight him twice. What's his face that Courtney really likes. His ass lost again. Dijak is a beast. So I really don't know if you saw this title. He needs a title by now. He's been earning that shit.
I don't know if you saw this, Tidy, and I don't mean to break your heart, but I think Sheamus might be gone from WWE very, 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 very soon. Because we were talking about this last week where the displeasure was kind of showing a little bit, where he was kind of saying things that made you think. I don't want to get into the headspace of like what he's thinking and what's happening, but based on that and then doing this, it kind of doesn't seem like things are going very well. Because he was very critical of them dropping the ball with him after Clash. And it hasn't seem to have gotten better. I'm not in the know of these things anymore. Thankfully, it's awesome. I've been able to enjoy the shows way more. But I do notice things like this. They do happen. So I think it might be a possibility that does happen. I hate it. I hate it for you, bro.
I'm going to lose my shit. He has been the best. You always say stiff fighting, whatever, but man, he's been the best at that for like, I don't know how many years since the bar. Like when I really took notice of him, the fact that if he's gone, God, that's fucking crazy. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, technically he is already been called up though. He's part of SmackDown, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's so weird too, just because the fact that Sheamus and Triple H were boys. They were workout, like they were like best friends. Like, isn't that how Sheamus got into like WWE? Is because he was workout buddies with
I think that there's a part of of everything that happens that you can only book a certain person, certain people at, really strong at certain points. There's a lot of people. Right, and look, there's a lot of people that said Sheamus should have beaten Gunther. A lot of people want to see Sheamus win the Intercontinental title. But you know what? Gunther, becoming the longest reigning Intercontinental champion in WWE is such a big part of his story now. That doesn't happen if Sheamus beats Gunther. And I think that adds to Gunther's aura. And maybe that was the plan, but maybe it got to be so good that everybody was like, nah, you know what? We don't have this happen. We have to have, a guy like Gunther, either lose to a world champion, as his first, defeat or something like that. Like, have a world title match where he loses. That'd be the only way you beat the guy at this point, because he's on such a tear. So unfortunately, Sheamus has to go to the back. And at a point, maybe there's a contractual situation that is up, and Triple H is like, look, you got to go to the back of the line until we get the Intercontinental title situated. And then, yeah, sure, we can maybe get you that run down the line. And maybe he's just not cool with that right now.
Yeah.
But there's only so much you can do sometimes. And as good of friends as you might be, business happens to be business. And, we want to be
respectful. I respect the decision. Like, if he's putting business in front of his friendship, I do respect it 1,000%. It is just kind of wild to think that this would happen with the change of the regime.
Yeah.
and your boy is like it is kind of wild. And Sheamus could have literally been if he's good to go and he's healthy and he can wrestle right now, he'd have been a great person to put into this 6-man gauntlet over JD McDonough. No knock on JD. Just you have a 6 men who have all lost to Gunther, vying for an opportunity to go back at him. And this is how Sheamus gets there and then beats him at Mania. Like, that's I would take that. I would almost take that over Chad Gable because I think Sheamus has earned it throughout his entire career. And it would still be an awesome moment. It's not like we're just doing it just to do it. It would be an awesome moment. And he technically did beat him with, he tapped for a second. he tapped for a second. So Sheamus has played that up this whole time. I think that was the last tweet I saw him do before he deleted. He goes, that little bastard tapped. So I don't know. JD, don't Google me. Nah, we can Google him. Sheamus and the BCC would be nuts. So they'd killing everybody in AEW if that happened, but that ain't happening. I would want him to go to New Japan.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Over there, not for myself, but for himself. I think he would have a lot of fun over there.
I'd like to see Sheamus just do what like Sasha's almost doing. Like Sasha, admitted, hey, I'm going to go to AEW. I'm going to come back to WWE eventually, though. Like it's not like I'm never going to be back there. She came flat out and said it. So I mean, if that's going to be the case, what if Sheamus does a year away from WWE and just says, hey, I'm going to do Impact for a couple of weeks. I'm going to do 2 matches in AEW. I'm going to do 6 weeks in New Japan, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go over and just wrestle for 6 months in Ireland, just for fun. Okay. And then I'll come back to WWE and take the Intercontinental title in a year.
I get it. And then I'll get over it as a fan, as like, Sheamus is like my goddamn hero, pretty much. Like, it's just that he's been there his whole career in WWE and for so long. And then for someone in the tail end of their career to be that established, like, if you can beat Sheamus in a fight, like, you're the man.
Yeah.
It's like, to see this happen it's honestly heartbreaking for me.
It's part of the
thinking about it. It's not right.
It's part of the business. It does suck. But
I know.
Albert, you transitioned beautifully because this is the last subject I do want to discuss before we say our goodbyes. You said Sasha. It's Mercedes now. She doesn't want to call her Sasha, damn it. I fully was playing because our buddy David Perry was going to be joining us tonight, and he's buddies with Evan Mack, who just had that great interview.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen it. It's phenomenal. And I wanted to
Kick Rock's podcast. Give it a watch.
I want to put him over so much because I've never seen Mercedes / Sasha in a situation where she's being interviewed or talking or anything, or I looked at her and said, hey, I actually like her. She always come across as just someone I don't like. But Evan did, I don't know if it's because something's changed with Mercedes herself or if Evan just made her feel so comfortable that she was able to be that open and real. I'm rooting for Mercedes 100% at this point. She's showing up in AEW this week. There's no question about it. If she doesn't, it's the biggest swerve of all time.
And you know what?
But
credit where it's due. There are certain, she left, and you know what? I still, we can talk about that until whatever, who was right, who was wrong, whatever it is. It happened, right? It's over and done with. Can't change the past. She walked out. Ever since she walked out, she said it seemingly had a game plan. She wanted to do specific things, and she got hurt in the process, but she wanted to wrestle in New Japan, and she's done that. It seems like she wanted to go to AEW and wrestle some women that are contracted in AEW. She's going to go do that now. And then, she's been saying that it looks like the contract is taking her, is giving her the ability to take bookings elsewhere. She's going to fulfill all the things that she said that she's wanted to do in her career, disappear from WWE for 2 or 3 years, and at the peak of her popularity on the indies, where she's done everything and she's been everywhere, she goes right back and she's the top star in WWE again. She knows her worth, and she's smart about it.
Do it.
Right.
Like, I think she's 29. I gotta look this up. She's still so young compared to the other 4 horsewomen.
And the thing is that you see it with Naomi. Naomi went and she established herself as a great wrestler. She went to TNA. She had a great run as TNA Women's Champion. She had amazing matches with Deonna Purrazzo and Jordan Grace and Giselle Shaw. And then now out of nowhere, she's back in WWE and she's a focal point on television again. Yes, it hasn't been perfect. Yes, I get it. She's lost a couple of matches. This happens. No one's perfect. People are going to lose matches. People get so mad. I can't believe she jobbed to Tiffany. She didn't job. She lost and she got cheated out of the match. Like, let's calm down a little bit. Yeah, you know.
Here's a stat I want to show everybody because everyone's like, it was like a 3-minute match. Bullshit. It was a 9-minute match. You only saw 3 minutes because you weren't there at the show where everyone else did. Her entrance didn't get cut. It just got cut from TV because the people at that show still saw her entrance. Stop nitpicking that stupid stuff. It's ridiculous. But back to Mercedes. What she did in that interview that impressed me the most was she had every reason in the world to go on there and bury WWE. And she didn't. She thanked them. They gave me everything. Like, if it wasn't for them, I'm not sitting here today living out my best life. She got to a point where she realized, this is her words too. So I like to go to the source. I don't like to hear things second and third hand because we know how that works. There was a game back when we were kindergartners, we'd play, and you never got it right because it's the more people it goes through, the more distorted the story gets. Mercedes herself says, look, I just handled it like a boss. I was done with WWE. I felt like there was nothing more for me to do there at that time because I had dreams that I wanted to go fulfill. And she was at the perfect point in her life to go fulfill those dreams. Now she's doing an album that she's dropping this year. She's doing movies. I wouldn't put it past her that at the end of her career, if she starts up an all-women's wrestling promotion in America that resembles Stardom and things like that, because that's what she truly loves. That's what made her want to become a wrestler, and that's what she wanted to do. WWE, you don't really get to do it that much, so I get why at a certain point you would want to leave. But I definitely see her doing it at the end. She's going to be a big deal for the wrestling world for a very long time, in my opinion. And I'm rooting for it at this point because the interview she came across as just an amazing, like, I like her now. This is not something I ever thought I'd say. Like, she was right up there with the Young Bucks and Charlotte Flair to me. Yes, she's very impressive. She's very good at wrestling. It's never been a question. I just never liked her attitude. Attitude I saw from that was like, yo, I want you to succeed at everything you want to succeed at because I could tell she's very passionate about wrestling. Everyone can say, oh, she's just about, no, I promise you, watch that interview. You'll see she loves this business and she deserves the world as far as I'm concerned. So I did want to get that in there. I'm sad David wasn't here so you could tell Evan that. You follow him, Courtney. Tell him. Tell Evan that I said big ups on that interview because he did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, same. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he really was.
Watch it, Heidi, you should.
No, I'm gonna go watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess he's off work for another month. I got all the time. I can watch it.
Go watch it. It's 55 minutes.
30 times.
It's 55 minutes. They talk about anime. They talk about Japan. They talk about a bunch of cool stuff. So, she deserves that steak and vegetables. She was almost in tears while she was praising WWE.
Yeah,
she had every reason in the world to bury them. That's maturity at its like finest. So
that's Sheamus. Why are you going to delete your Sheamus?
Hey, he might be ready to surprise you with something.
What if he's mystery man number 7 tomorrow night? We don't know.
JD McDonough gets taken out, and then they need to fill it in with another person.
Nah, man, he's who did one of his famous kicks was on Ricochet. Ricochet did that backflip, and then Sheamus kicked him right in the jaw. What great timing! It's gonna happen. He's gonna take Ricochet's spot tomorrow.
Don't give up hope yet. I just wanted to point it out because I know it's your boy.
Yeah.
But this was a fun show. I'm glad we didn't have a game plan because I really enjoyed just bouncing and just talking about the stuff we liked and enjoyed and had fun with it. So
a lot of fun people in the chat. It was a good one.
We had some new people in the chat. That was awesome. I don't know if they're still here, but if you are, thank you. Much appreciated. But now it's time to say our goodbyes. So with that, Tidy, tell them what it is that you want them to know and your goodbyes.
Nia Jax better be on WrestleMania card. That's all I'm saying. For her to be this damn good, you get that face out of here, man. You know I love JD McDonough.
I'm a fan of her now.
If Sheamus shows up, Sammy wins, Gable wins tomorrow, I'm happy. If JD wins, I'm gonna be 3 times happier than the average human being. Because the rest of y'all gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be living my life. But yeah.
Tidy's gonna go out and celebrate like he does every night before the podcast. Because we were on Monday last week and he went out on Sunday. He's like, I'm pre-gaming for the podcast.
It's just been going down. I can't help it right now.
You do you,
Good
man.
for
You
you.
live your best.
You deserve
You
it.
live your best life like Mercedes. That's what I say, man. You do that. Thanks for inviting me. Absolutely, man. Much appreciate you being here. You helped us a lot tonight. I appreciate the input and the ideas and all other stuff. So come back, man. Absolutely. We're trying to build this into a very awesome, friendly community because there's too much of that other bullshit on the other thing.
Absolutely.
So that's the idea behind the podcast, which is Tidy's brainchild. I'm gonna give him all the credit in the world for that one. Albert, what about you? He don't shake your head. No, this is your idea.
To an extent, not positively awesome wrestling, but
It
that's
doesn't
more
happen
you.
without you, Tidy. That's what we're gonna go with.
Right.
It doesn't happen without you. So,
Okay.
Albert, now you tell them what it is, what they need to know, and your goodbyes.
I want to just throw this out there. I'm actually not mad at any one of those 6 people winning that gauntlet. I really like. There's not one person there where I'd be like, you know what? I don't want to see that. You know, like even JD. I know even. You know why? Because I honestly believe that it would be so entertaining to watch Gunther. Yeah, you know. So I'm fine with it. There's nobody in that match that would disappoint me. And I think that WWE has made it fun for me because no matter the outcome, I'm going to be entertained. Thank you for that.
That's all.
WWE has been good. You shouted out AEW. We talked about Wardlow a little bit. We're getting Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay. I mean, look, I'm a Bryan Danielson maniac. I think that if there's one person I can stand seeing Will Ospreay in the ring with, it's Bryan Danielson.
Oh, yeah.
So the way they're building up Wardlow is really good. Okada's there. I'm a big Okada guy. So you know what? Big ups to AEW as well. We don't mention them enough. But also, I mentioned this earlier, and if you guys weren't here at the beginning of the show, a major slam sessions coming up soon. Just give me a little while to edit some things together because I a major overhaul on my room. But yeah,
go check out Billy the Goat
soon.
So you
keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, you brought up AEW, and I'm going to take a little bit more time to do it because for the longest time we really weren't chatting about AEW, and it's not just because Tidy isn't in the loop with it. It's because I haven't had a reason to brag and boast and talk about it at all. For a while, that was the thing. There was a few things here and there where I was like, that's cool. But there wasn't enough to get me excited. This past, I would say, 3 weeks prior to Revolution, up until now, they've only had one episode of Dynamite that I wasn't feeling. It was their go-home show. But other than that, I have enjoyed it. I love watching AEW again. I don't sit there and be like, well, we could go do something else. I'm like, no, I want to watch Dynamite tonight. It's been that good lately, and they deserve the praise for it. Again, Wardlow's been phenomenal. The Swerve thing has been great. I'm a fan of Hangman Page for some reason. That's how good it's been. The Young Bucks, I still don't like them, but I've been giving them praise a little bit more recently because of the work they've been doing. I didn't even hate their Sting match. So, we're getting Darby Allin versus Jay White this week. Oh my goodness! And also, fingers crossed that Darby Allin comes back from
Everest.
Please
Oh my God!
Please come back.
Crazy mother.
We have Mercedes.
Right?
We have Mercedes showing up. Tony Storm has been killing it. There's a lot of stuff going on in AEW that I genuinely like again. So I want to give them their dues because they deserve it. And I literally said that when I like it, I'll talk about it. If I don't like it, I don't talk about it. So if you don't hear me talking about it, there's a reason for it. I feel like a lot of people should take that lesson because if you don't like it, just don't watch it. Don't pay attention to it. Don't talk about it. But that's for another day. Another thing. I'm not going to get into that. AEW's been really, 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 really good, with the exception of the Go Home show. I think that's the only one I haven't liked. And Will Ospreay. I know the 5-star match thing is silly, but to do 2 in 1 week is 2 within 4 days of each other is still to put on a match that's of the caliber to get that kind of attention is impressive. And I would say if you have time, Tidy, go out of your way to look for Will Ospreay versus Takeshita and Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher.
He's like the one guy from AEW that Dave would always send me clips of, and I would sit there and watch it because I'm like awed. And then he showed me the JD McDonough Ospreay match, way back when, and I was in awe. Like that dude he may be Superman.
So, match of the year right now, as of right now, which is crazy because it's been changing quite a bit. That's how many great matches we've been getting. It's Takeshita versus Ospreay from Revolution. It was It was amazing. And you don't need a story. The story is literally they're just trying to one up each other because they're in the same stable together. So they're literally just trying to outshine everybody else on the roster and put on the greatest match they possibly could. And they did. Then on Dynamite, he wrestled another person from the stable who's also one of his old best friends. And honestly, if it wasn't for commercials, I'd literally put it above the Takeshita match. It was that damn good. Wow. So, good job, AW. Please keep it up. Let's get some more women's shit going, please.
Well, certain boss is showing up in a few weeks, so, you know.
So, with that said, thank you all for tuning in. Once again, I'll say it again. Thank you for tuning in. It's much appreciated. You guys really helped out tonight. It was awesome. And we might just start doing these like once a month because I really enjoyed it. And we'll be back next Sunday. It's going to be rough, but I'm going to do it next Sunday. The following Sunday, we might not have a show because I'm doing Vegas that week. I don't know how much wrestling I'm going to be taking in, but we will be here next week. I'll have more information for the following week after that. And the WrestleMania Extravaganza show is coming up. And again, we have 2 guests showing up now. So the odds are getting stacked. That's the way I do it. Because I own this computer. I own this microphone. I own this account. I own it all. And you will acknowledge me after I take that title at WrestleMania. But with that, thank you all again one more time. I cannot thank you enough. I appreciate it. And we will see you again next week. Goodbye and toodles.